Subfields of psychology. The first field is biopsychology. Now, if you hear the term, things which pop out in your mind is biology and psychology. So yeah, it is just a relation between biology and psychology. The brain is the seat of all complex behavior. This is something which you have to remember, and I don't think so you have to remember. You already know it, that brain is the seat of all complex behavior. This branch deals with the biological basis of behavior. The relationship between biology and behavior is quite obvious. Now, what is this relation between biology and psychology? Genetics, which is a branch in biology, it is a very important branch by the perspective of psychology. Over the years, the scientists in the field of genetics, have conducted researches to bring out the role of heredity in behavior. And in recent years, it is discovered that the hormones secreted by endocrine gland play a very important role in behavior. So these chemical processes, they play a very important role in behavior, and that is the reason why biology and psychology are related to each other. So that is why there is a special field related to it, which research is about the relation between biology and psychology, which is biopsychology. The next is cognitive psychology. By the name, you can understand that this field studies about cognitive processes such as memory, thinking, learning, and that is what this field is. If you want to see what exactly those cognitive processes are, you can zoom and see this diagram. There are these kind of things which are written. These are the cognitive processes such as perception, human intelligence, memory, and all, language. Comparative psychology. Now, this field was earlier called animal psychology, but later now it is called comparative psychology. But why was it called animal psychology? It is because it compares the behavior of different species, especially animals, and by comparing those behavior, the conclusion, now they use that to apply to human behavior to solve problems. That is what comparative psychology is. Now the example, you can see the first image, which is of the queen bee, and the second image is of the worker bee. Now the example states that the these field studies about how the queen bee gets its work done from worker bees, and you can take the meaning out from it as leadership. Cultural psychology, the people in this field compare the behavior of people of different culture across nations. And if you want to know exactly what this definition and what does this mean, it is this branch studies the way in which culture, subculture, ethnic group membership affect behavior. We are all humans. If you go into a different country, you will find the behavior of those people in that country different because their culture is different. And the psychologists do cultural research and compare behavior of people of different cultures across nation. That is what cultural psychology is. Gender psychology. And if I were to summarize what this is, it is that this field studies the on uh, roles and influences of gender in a human life, of how the gender influences the human behavior, and it just studies about the role of gender throughout life. The third point. Now, the exact definition is the field studies the roles and influences of gender on basis of researches done. It tries to identify the acquisition of gender identity and role of gender throughout life. Learning psychology. Now, this studies how and why learning occurs. In this field, psychologists develop theories of learning and apply them to solve various human problems. In this field, psychologists, they develop theories related to learning and then apply them to human behavior to solve various human problems. It is that easy. Consumer psychology. By hearing the name, marketing, advertising, and these things may come in your mind, and that is the example in the first point. The field is involved in the research of marketing, advertising, packaging, etc. It is an offshoot of social psychology. Counseling psychology. This is a very famous field. Many of you know about it. There are many types of counselors. I just wrote here three, which is family counselor, marriage counselor, school counselor, etc. Now, what exactly a counseling psychologist does it helps people with emotional, interpersonal relationship problems, career choice, planning, etc. There are a lot of things because there are a lot of fields in this uh, counseling psychology. Now let's talk about as an example school counselor, because you might be familiar with it. You might met one in your school time, or if you have not met it, it is just like someone who helps students to plan their study routine, and the students can share that problem with that counselor, that hey, how can they increase their attention span, what are the problems they are facing while studying, and they can't go, or what are the problems that make them not concentrate on the study, and they will help them through that to get out from that problems and help them to manage their routine and all. So in If you summarize it, this is just the field which helps people with emotional, interpersonal relationships, such as career choice. Now, many people who do overthink, and they think that they get very confused when they think about career. So they can meet a career counselor, and this counselor will help them to uh, choose their career. Medical psychology. This field deals with the medical things such as recover from emotional impact of illness, taking medicine, etc. Now, what is this field exactly does is that many patients, when they get ill, they have trauma, they get sad, they get emotional. So to get out from that trauma, to get out from the emotional state, the people in this field help those people, the psychologists in this field help those patients to get out from that emotional impact of that illness. And also the job of these psychologists overlap with part of health psychology. Military psychology. This is an interesting field. This field deals with applying psychological theories to predict the behavior of armed forces within the country and outside the country. Now the second point, if I have to explain the second point, it is they apply psychological tools so to help armed forces thrive better in stressful conditions. There's not much explaining to it. You can read it by yourself and you can understand it. This discipline also deals with applying psychological theories to deal with enemy forces. Yes, they apply psychological theories to deal with enemy forces. This discipline also tells about work-life balance. Yes, when work of a soldier is very responsive, it's a very responsibility kind of thing. So there is a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. So how will they manage their work-life balance? So this discipline also talks about work-life balance. Environmental psychology. There's not much to this. This discipline aims at solving environmental issues to enhance better living conditions for human and their well-being. What this exactly does, it is that it studies the interaction between human and environment, not with behavior. It's human and environment. It's wrong. Human and environment. You can correct it. Human and environment. If you want to take a screenshot of all these slides, you can. I will give you some time. And I guess that is it for this video. In the next video, I guess few of I guess like 10 or 12 I guess are remaining. I guess 10, more than 10 I guess are remaining fields which we will talk about in the next video. Those are a little bit complex fields, they are a little bit longer, but there's no problem in that. We will talk about it in the next video. In this video we talked about all the fields which are not that big and which are easy to understand. In the next video we are going to talk about the fields which are a little bit lengthy and a little bit complex. I guess that is it for this video. If you want to leave a like, you can leave a like.